Welcome, Greek U Nation, to episode number 576 of the Fraternity Foodie Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Mike Ayalon, CEO of Greek University. I'm a speaker and an author. Our sixth book just came out. It's called I'm So Beautiful, It's Ridiculous: Unleashing and Promoting Strength, Self-Worth, and Real Sisterhood. So go and pick up that book on Amazon or Barnes & Noble today. We call these episodes the Fraternity Foodie Podcast because there is nothing like great food to bring college students together. Fun fact, I've been watching my own kids and their consumption of this energy drink. It's called Celsius, and I'm sure many of you have already heard of it or have used Celsius, which this particular drink has extremely high amounts of caffeine in them. Every can contains 200 milligrams of caffeine. And I've seen students drink multiple cans each day, and it's very hard to get them out of that cycle. Now, I drink a cup of coffee every morning, so I will fully admit that that cup of coffee has 95 milligrams of coffee. And I know that I will start to experience headaches if I don't have another cup of coffee the next day. So I wanted to explore just how bad these things are for today's college students. And I found a caffeine expert for our show today. Born and raised in Germany, Norbert Heuser spent most of his professional life between residence in Germany and Asia. He is a German entrepreneur, an inventor, a life and health coach, and a public speaker and an author. Norbert has his own companies in Taiwan. He's done companies in mainland China, Hong Kong, Germany, and of course, the United States. He has been working with and among the Chinese for the past 35 years, and he had a deeper look into the culture and the lifestyle that a regular Western person could possibly have. It is there where he was introduced to Chinese medicine. Norbert alternates between Europe and the United States, where he is invited as a public speaker. He delivers seminars and webinars, and he appears on interviews and talk shows all throughout the country. Welcome to the show, Norbert.
Thank you, Dr. Michael, for having me. I appreciate it. First time, it's a new thing.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. It's great to have you on the show and talk about some of these new energy drinks that are coming out with tons of caffeine in them. I'm seeing my own kids starting to use them. I know it's a disaster. Believe me, I know. And we'll get to it, but I'm interested because your journey started in Germany. It took you through 39 countries, and I'm wondering what inspired your passion for alternative medicine, especially starting at such a young age.
Well, the first time I had an out-of-body experience at the age of 3, then several times thereafter. First time I came across alternative medicine at the age of 10, not knowing, I just knew something was going on here at this age. Then I had first time I touched Chinese medicine at the age of 16, not knowing that I was deep into Chinese medicine at this point. My interest is all my life to learn, to understand. And for me, the biggest thrill of life is learning and understanding. And if you understand a problem, you have half the solution if there's a problem which needs to be handled, right? Mm-hmm. And I had a thirst for workable solution, as that was my kick.
Yeah. Well, I love that you're out there trying to find solutions for these certainly very complex problems. I'm wondering, how did your personal health challenges and also your grandson's health issues shape your current mission and your work?
Well, I was in alternative medicine for the past 40 years, but 16, 18 years ago, when my first grandson was born, and at the same time myself, we have both had major medical problems created through cell phone usage, which became evident to me. So I was looking around, trying to find a solution for kind of put a cap on the cell phones that they're not dangerous. And I went out there and tried to find something, and whatever I found didn't work. I'm into kinesiology, muscle testing for 40 years, and whatever was available, I'd muscle tested, and it all didn't work. Mm-hmm. So I decided I have to do something to cover myself and the health of my family. And I never wanted to get into production or manufacturing, but I ended up doing so, and there was a need for it, and people asked me, and it became obvious at this time already there are problems. With electromagnetic radiation, cell phone, Wi-Fi became very hard thereafter. And to my opinion, that's a very personal opinion. I'm not a doctor. I cannot give medical advice. But to my opinion, that every third person at the moment is dying of cancer, and the number is getting worse. For me, the primary reason for cancer is electromagnetic radiation from Wi-Fi and cell phones. But that's a story for another day. So I went on this journey trying to find solutions. And the same counted for water. There was unhealthy water, and all the water's been praised for being great. I found it was all a lie. So I developed a water technology. So I went into this because I wanted to find out the truth.
Mm, wow. You know, if we can talk about caffeine for a minute, because I'm looking at college students who are relying on caffeine, and that comes from coffee, energy drinks, soda, many of them, in order to push through all-nighters to study for finals, etc. So, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that today's students have about caffeine?
I dare to say, and I dare to step on the blue suede shoes of many people now, they don't have a misconception. They have no conception. They have no knowledge. And I
Mm,
don't blame them. They were never educated in school or university, even in medical school. What is caffeine and what does it to your body physically and mentally? So they don't have a misconception. They have no concept. This is why I give seminars, which typically last an hour, 2 hours, and where I teach all that. So at the end of the seminar, I offer them my information and my research, and they can think about it and say it makes sense or makes no sense. Um, our school education concentrates on trigonometry. Nobody gives a real after school what to do with trigonometry. And we're missing to teach them basic things in life, be it love, be it communication, be it water, be it health basics. No. So they don't have a misconcept, they have no concept.
hmm You mentioned your research that links caffeine to reduced immune response, even gray brain matter deterioration. Can you walk us through the science that you've discovered and what this means for young people's health long term?
Well, in my book, which is called Every Coffee Drinker is a Drug Addict, in my book, I have a lot of quotes, medical researchers. I give medical references, not things I try to imagine or I'm coming up with, but serious medical research. One of the medical researchers was my finding that the University of Southern Australia did a test, and listen up, on 17,000 people. 17,000 people. And they proved that caffeine consumption increases the chance of dementia by 50%. And now it's the big one. They found that consumption of caffeine reduces your gray brain matter. And I found other studies in Switzerland which confirm that. So the amount of health deficiency and reactions is endless, as well for pregnant mothers, for children, for unborn children, for guys in sports. I don't know whether you know that the Olympic Committee had banned caffeine for 20 years as a doping product.
Hmm.
And then
Wow.
after 20 years on a Monday morning, they woke up and said, oh, it's not a doping product anymore. And to my opinion, they got pressure from the industry who wanted to sell their energy products, their energy drinks.
Mhm.
So they took it off.
It's so interesting. I mean, let's assume that somebody listens to you and they say, okay, I'm going to give up caffeine, but the withdrawal symptoms can be really brutal, especially during high stress times like exams for finals and things like that. So, what are your tips for reducing or eliminating that caffeine from your life safely?
Well, first of all, you have to understand you have caffeine in coffee, sure, but as well in black tea, green tea, white tea. Everybody thinks the green tea is healthy, yes. On one side, yes. On the other side, not. And you have caffeine basically in all soda pops and specifically in energy drinks. And you know all the names. I don't need to quote the names of these products, okay?
Mm.
So my strongest suggestion is don't start the day before the exam to stop it, okay? Because you have withdrawal symptoms which may push you out of your rails, right?
Mhm.
So you should change it, try to change it well before an exam, because your life is depending on the exam. You think so, and you don't want to miss it, right? And now, if you would start a day before, basically, I'm telling people, if you want to find out you're addicted or not, very simple test. I'm not blaming you. Find out for yourself. Just stop tomorrow in a period of your life which is cool, right? No exams.
Mm-hmm.
Stop to consume anything with caffeine, coffee, chocolate, energy drinks, and they come out now lately with this mushroom coffee, which is deceiving. It's not true. They have all caffeine. Stop drinking soda pops and energy drinks for a period. And most likely, you will not survive 2-3 days without getting back to it. That's a typical turnaround time for somebody who is addicted.
Right.
And everybody who drinks regularly those drinks is addicted, whether you admit it or not, whether you know or not, it's not the point. So then you find out, Christ, I cannot survive 2-3 days without caffeine. And this is the moment you look in the mirror and say, okay, I understand now, I'm addicted. Being aware of a problem is half the solution. If you find out you're addicted, you can make a decision. Do you want to get rid of it or not? And there are two ways to go about it. The first way is cold turkey. Some of my readers confirmed to me they did cold turkey and they made it. A lot of them failed. And I basically say in the book, and I explain it, to reduce it in slices and steps to make the withdrawal more doable. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that's certainly one way to go about it. The other question that I have is, let's assume that we like the benefits of coffee. We're more alert in the morning, especially. Are there any healthy and energizing alternatives to coffee or the energy drinks that you would recommend to college students?
If somebody is on heroin, would you accept the question, is there an alternative to heroin? You cannot be a bit pregnant. You're pregnant or not pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
There is no alternative to something unhealthy. Okay? You have to understand energy drinks are unhealthy. What did people do 50 years ago when there were no energy drinks? How did they pass the exams? How did they pass their lives? These energy drinks are big time around 20 years. And that was the time the Olympic Committee said, oh, caffeine is no more a doping product, right? To make them open the door that they can sell their products. And sportsmen can consume it without being stopped in the Olympic Games, which had happened. So there is no alternative to bad.
Mm-hmm.
Less bad, okay, it's still bad. You know, they say, I don't beat my wife very often. I beat her only 2 times a day. So I improve from 5 times a day. There is no improvement for something which is called clear bad. And I explain in the book why it's bad and which effect it has on your body. There's a big history behind this, for which we have today no time. If you have another show for me available, then we can talk about why caffeine is so bad, okay? But there's no alternative energy. The alternative way to create energy is lifestyle, okay? There's lifestyle. Healthy water. You don't have enough daylight. I can guarantee you that 90% of your students, 95%, drink unhealthy water, no matter where they buy it. They buy it in a health food store, it's still unhealthy. I have a separate show about water. Most people drink reverse osmosis water, which is the devil, which I explain why it is the devil, okay? I don't say these things lighthearted. I don't want to say everything is bad, no, but you have to know what is bad and what is good. So we're all missing healthy water. We're all missing daylight, sunlight, clean, rich oxygen, air, a work which satisfies you mentally, healthy food, vitamins, minerals, which are not enough in our food, work out with your body, and have a good sleep at nighttime. You have no idea how important sleep is at nighttime for your mental and physically good state you want to live in. And at the end of the day, love and a balanced life between work and hobbies and feelings and love is all you need. These things I just listed to be enriched with energy. And my definition for health is body and mind in harmony. If your body and mind is not in harmony, you never be healthy. When you talk healthy about people, they say, oh, eat healthy food. Well, I can tell you that water is more important than food. And that your body and mind must be in harmony to be healthy. Not only your body. People talk about the body, but not about their mind.
You've given us a lot to think about here. And you also mentioned that the bottled water isn't always as clean or as healthy as we think. So I'm wondering, I mean, if we want water, and you're saying that this is really critical, even more important maybe than the food that we eat, where can we go to get clean sources of water?
Well, I want to be brutally honest. 95% of the people I test in my seminars, and I ask them to bring the water from home they consume.
Mhm.
I test them and I prove to them in the test that the water is bad for them. It's water. It looks like water. Okay. You think it's water. It tastes like water. But there are certain parameters which is good and bad water. Again, this may be a show for another day if you want me, if you have time. I have one show in which I only explain why reverse osmosis water is bad, which is the most sold bottled water. Their reverse osmosis water, or it says purified water on the bottle.
Mhm.
It is bad water, and I explain why it's bad. I don't want to condemn anybody, but I'm just saying, look, you need to know. And the second show I give is called, What are the parameters for healthy water? How do you want to judge healthy water? Whoever in school explained to you what healthy water is. Selbst in medical school, doctors are not educated. And I have the biggest satisfaction if at the end of my seminars, medical doctors walk up to me and say, why did they not teach us this, what you told us today, in the medical school? In the medical school is not taught what healthy water is. Vitamins, minerals are not taught. In the university is not taught what electromagnetic radiation is from cell phone and Wi-Fi and what it does it to your body. These things are not taught. And the world is based on frequencies only, which is another seminar I give. So again, you want to increase your energy? The only way to do it, you don't like it, it's without energy drinks and soda pops and caffeine, and to concentrate on the true healthy elements of life, which I just quoted. And again, think back 50 years ago. People didn't have these stuff. They had no exposure of Wi-Fi and cell phone as we have today. They had hardly and no exposure to energy drinks.
Mhm.
You think that's needed? No, it's not needed. You think it's needed, but you don't know the details and the practicality side of it. And my job is to offer you my findings. And you think about it, what I say and what I prove in my seminars, and then you make a decision.
Fascinating stuff. The other thing is mental health challenges are really on the rise. There's a lot of stress and anxiety in our society, especially with college students. So I'm wondering, how does the caffeine, the electromagnetic frequencies, and other factors that you mentioned, how does all of that contribute to the mental health challenges that we're seeing today?
Well, it all brings the mental and physical health challenges. It brings the mental and physical part of your life down. I'll give you one example of many in my book and many in my teachings. Just one example. Everybody in the medical industry who is serious knows that every third person at the moment dies of cancer. The number is getting worse.
Mhm.
And everybody knows that living acidic, if your body is acidic, your cancer will grow more. Cancer grows, to my opinion, with three factors. Cancer needs to grow a mental instability. If you live in anxiety and fear, your immune system goes down and cancer can grow more because your immune system doesn't fight it back. Second point is sugar and caffeine are two products when consumed which make cancer spread and grow. When people ask me, what should I do? I have cancer. Can I give medical advice? If I would be you, stop immediately all sugar and all caffeine products. Because caffeine is highly acidic. Highly acidic. It is 100,000 times too acidic for the human body. So every time I drink caffeine products, I'll take my cancer cells and say, here is some food for you. Please keep growing. Keep growing. We all have cancer cells, more or less. That's not important. Important is your lifestyle to fight back the cancer through your immune system, or your immune system gives up and say, come on, grow. Grow the hell out of me. I'm fine with that. So every time you consume sugar and caffeine, you grow your own cancer. You support the cancer growth.
Wow. Really interesting stuff. Obviously you found your calling in life, whether we're talking about caffeine or the electromagnetic fields, et cetera. This is obviously, a calling for you. What do you say to all the college students who are listening out there that are trying to find what their calling is in life?
Well, to be straightforward, and I'm talking the same thing with my children and grandchildren, of course.
Yeah.
First, you got to leave your ego trip and being self-centered, okay? You cannot find a calling, your inner voice, if your inner voice is loaded with your ego. You let your inner voice speak to you, let it out. So the more spiritual you are, the more you have access to your mental capacities. You got to leave your ego trip of being self-centered. Then you have to look at, what do I have to bring to the table today for the society? And the honest answer is, for most, I got nothing to offer. I'm not important. Whether I live or die tomorrow, it doesn't change the society. So I got to say, what can I offer to others? How valuable can I be for others? Can you be a creator? The more you help mankind and this planet, the more important are you, and the more you find real, true satisfaction. Money, trust me, is no satisfaction. Money is not really satisfaction. You are happy if you make $1 million tomorrow, but it's no use if you don't live with $1 million a worth living life and use it for good intentions and helping others. It doesn't mean you have to give it all away, but you have to see, the key word is serving, not complaining or demanding. You're a student, you want to live a great life, don't complain, don't demand, deliver first. Keyword is serving. And the more you serve others, the more others will support you. Find out what you can contribute in the society, and don't concentrate on making money. Please don't do.
Very helpful. I appreciate those insights. Really, really good stuff. Where can our college student listeners go to learn more about your books, your technologies, and some of your upcoming seminars?
Well, I don't give many seminars today, as since COVID, the seminar scene has changed. I was giving seminars all year round in Europe and in America all the time. And in this period of COVID shutdown, I gave quite a few webinars, which are on my website to watch free charge. And here and there, I get a personal invitation from people like you on your university or on this school, or medical doctors who put in their praxis a seminar together. I have a suitcase, I travel, and then I go and deliver these seminars. And I have a bunch of topics which I'll teach. Typically, a seminar lasts a full day. And otherwise, I have a website like everyone has. It's a very simple website, name to remember, improveyourlife.us. And this is my message. If you're not willing to improve your life, don't talk to me. You want to improve your life? Talk to me. I'll help you. But you got to be committed, not just talking, because some things I say don't please you, because you don't want to leave your comfort zone. And true expansion of your life can only happen outside the comfort zone. If you stay in the comfort zone, you will not expand your life, your knowledge, your connections, your expertise. You are nobody. You are nothing, right? So you got to leave your comfort zone. And I'm helpful as a life coach and health coach to do that. But you got to be able to confront your barriers and your comfort zone.
Very good. Well, Norbert, thank you so much for spending time with us today. I know all of us appreciated it, and we certainly have learned something new. We'll go and check out your website to watch some of those videos. I think that's very exciting, and of course, to pick up all of your books. So, thank you so much for spending time with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me, giving me the opportunity to talk to your people and to you.
Of course, of course. To our college student listeners, if you enjoyed this conversation with Norbert, I want you to like it and I want you to share it with other college students. We appreciate your time and we'll see you on the next episode of the Fraternity Foodie Podcast. Thanks so much. Bye for now.